Hello everyone, thank you for buying one of our new box kits. This is a collaboration between ourselves and Romney Marsh Walls, and this is the Barn Owl kit. So let's have a look and see what we get inside it. So inside you'll have our Romney Natural White Wool, our cinnamon blend, our grey blend, our black, some parchment paper, a pipe cleaner, a 40 gauge needle and a 36 gauge needle, some wire, a natural wood base and an eco felting pad. You'll also have your booklet in there with all of your templates on. Right, so let's get started. So you're going to need a couple of extra things for this box kit. You're going to need a ruler, a pair of pliers, some hair straighteners or an iron, which is optional, and also some glue, which is also optional to attach your barn owl to its base. Right, so let's get started. Okay, so to start, we're going to take our ruler and our wire. We're going to straighten our wire out. We're going to measure 18 centimetres. And with our pliers, we're going to do a 40-degree angle, like so. Then we're going to measure another 18 from the bend. And we're going to do another 45-degree angle. Okay, so now you should have roughly this shape. Now I've got two tape measures because the next bit is quite tricky, so I tend to use a smaller ruler for this. So from the bend, you're going to measure 1 centimetre, and then you're going to do another 45-degree angle. You're then going to bring that wire back in on itself, and then we're going to twist. Now we're going to measure again 1 centimetre, and we're going to do another 45-degree angle. We're going to bring the wire back in on itself. We're going to twist. And we're going to repeat. A 45-degree angle, bring it back in on itself, and we're going to twist again. Last one. Measure 1 centimetre, 45-degree angle, bring it back on itself, close it together and twist. So you should have something that looks roughly the same as that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this excess over, just so it goes slightly past the feet, and then we're going to twist. Now we're going to move 3 of the toes forward and then leave 1 backwards. We're going to repeat this process for the other side. So from the bend, we're going to measure 1 centimetre. We're going to bend, bring it back in on itself and twist. From the bend, 1 centimetre, 45-degree angle, bring it back in on itself and twist. One centimetre, bend, bring it back on itself, close it up and twist. Last one. Bring it back on itself, close it up and twist. Then we're going to fold this in half, bringing some of it just slightly past the foot. We're going to twist. I'm going to keep 1 foot back and bring the other 3 forward. So that is what your finished piece should look like. Next, we're going to cover the middle section with a pipe cleaner. Now you want to leave around 2 centimetres from the foot that we're not going to cover in pipe cleaner. So I'm just going to tightly wrap it round the wire. And there we go. Okay, so now that we've finished that step, we're going to start building up the body. We're going to take a sliver of our white wool. We're going to place the wire on top and we're going to knot. So you want the knot to be sitting on top. This will end up as your head for your owl. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the feet together, like so, and we're going to start wrapping. So we're going to wrap this all the way round. So all the pipe cleaner is covered. Then using our 36 gauge needle, we're going to start felting it into place. So you want to felt until it's firm but bouncy. So you're going to keep felting until it matches the template in your book. So when you're finished, you should have something that looks similar to this. Okay, so next we're going to be working on the face. We're going to take a sliver of our white wool and we're just going to roll it in our hands so it slightly felts together. And now we're going to place this in a heart shape. So we're going to take our 36 gauge needle, we're going to place the sliver on the top of the head, and we're going to start very gently attaching it. So with this excess, all we're going to do is bring it up on both sides and felt it into place. Now whilst doing this, make sure that you keep that nice heart shape all the way around. Okay, so once you've done your heart shape, we're going to start adding some more wool to the inside. What we want is a nice graduation. If I show you one that I done earlier, you can see that you've got this lovely dip in his face. Now that's the look that we're going for, and then it kind of raises here and then slopes backwards for the head. So just take a little bit more wool, felt it in, bringing the wool over the sides. Now this can take a little while to build the shape up, but do take your time with it because it's important to get this bit right. So next we're going to be making our wings. We're going to set our owl aside. We're going to take our parchment paper, put it on top of our pad. We're going to take 2 equal slivers of our white wool. I like folding it between my fingers like that. Gives you a nice base to start on. Now the idea is to felt this nice and flat. So we're just going to start felting it. Now you want to trace your template in your booklet for this, and just keep pulling in the edges and felting down until you've got the right shape. Moving it around regularly on your pad so it doesn't stick. Okay, so next we need to make our owl blend. Now we're going to take a portion of the grey, just a little bit, and we're going to set that aside for later. We're going to take a small selection of our black and all of our brown. Now we're going to lay one on top of the other, like so, and then we're just going to gently pull it apart. Now you just keep doing this until all of the colours are nicely blended together. Now at this stage, once I've blended it a little bit, I then like to add the black. Now you don't need a lot of black in it, but it needs to be well distributed between the blend. So I tend to lay small portions of it over and then carry on blending the wall. Now this is going to take you a little while to do, but you'll know once it gets there because it won't be liney, and it will be a really nice graduation of colour. Okay, so now that you've got your blend, we are going to colour one side of each of our wings and one side of our tail. So we're just going to take a thin portion of our blend and we're going to place it over the top and we're going to felt it into place. Be gentle whilst doing this because you don't want the blend to come through the other side. And just keep going until you've covered one side on each of your wings and your tail. Right, so next we're going to attach our wings. So remember, the unfelted side is going to go to the centre. Position your wings so you've got the nice bit of shoulder sort of coming around the front. You're going to use your 40 gauge needle and just felt it into place. And then we're going to repeat for the other one. Now make sure that you've lined them up so they're coming around the front the same amount, and then your back bit is the same length on the back. Okay, so there's his wings and his tail. So now you want to colour all the portions that are still white on his back. So as you can see, where I've overlapped the wings, I've got a portion of white here that I'm going to need to cover. I'm going to cover his head. I'm going to cover around the heart shaped, and then a line of colour going just around the edge of the bottom of the heart. Okay, so next we're going to make his beak. So we're going to take a small portion of the grey wool. I like rolling it in my hands into a ball. Now we're going to place it on his face, and we're just going to make a little triangle. Okay, So then we've got our little triangle for our beak. And whilst we've got the grey, we're going to make his little spots on his chest. So we're going to take really small pieces of the grey wool. We're going to rub it between our fingers to make a ball, put it on the end of my needle, and then I'm just going to press it in to his chest. Now you can do this as many times as you want. You don't have to do them if you don't want to, but I think it just adds a nice sort of detail to him. So make sure they're different sizes. You don't want them all the same size. I'm just going to add a couple more really small ones. There we go. Right, next we're going to take a really small sliver of our black wool and we're going to roll it between our fingers until we've got sort of a nice slim length like that. I'm going to cut this in half because mine's a bit too long. And then we're going to do little semicircles for the eyes. So we're just going to felt one end in and then bring it back round. Then if you've got excess, just bring it back on top of the wool and felt it in. There we go, and there's his little eye. So do the same on the other side. There we go. I like to add just a little bit of the brown blend. When I say a little bit, I mean it's literally whispers of it just around his eyes. Just gives a nice bit of detail. Okay, and now all you need to do is attach him to your base. So as I said before, you can use glue. So you just add glue to the wire that's then going to go through your holes into your base. Your wire should be quite tight in the base anyway, so you shouldn't need it. And then you're just going to place the wires inside the holes. And stand him up. Right, and that is your owl completed. Thank you so much for buying one of our kits, and please do share your finished owls with us on our social media. Happy felting!